Hey yo, today we're gonna go through the first issue of Menace. I'm not sure what to expect out of this. It looks like it's gonna be a horror book, maybe sci-fi, maybe a bit of everything. But enough talk and let's just find out. Story number one head too many. We got this guy named Lou Briggs, and he gets woken up in his apartment by this super bright light coming from his window. So he goes to look out the window but sees nothing. Then he hears voices above him coming from the roof. And like any good horror story character, instead of staying put and out of harm's way, he runs up to the roof and finds a Barney. After seeing the guy, Barney quickly flies away down to Central Park, but Lou gets down to his car and follows him there. But he gets caught and some beam shoots out and forces Lou to walk into the ship. And as soon as he gets there, he sees these handsome gentlemen. The ship takes off and these swamp things explain to Lou what's going on. They say they're here to conquer Earth before humans can create spaceships and conquer them. But they're also scared of the atomic weapons on Earth, so they want Lou to give a message to humanity telling them the green guys want peace. So they send him in this little spaceship and tell him if he doesn't come to Barney in 24 hours after delivering the message, they're gonna go ahead and attack Earth. After landing again back in Central Park, Lou goes ahead and dumps the ship in the lake. So I guess he didn't listen to the green guys, and he runs back to his apartment to call someone named Joe, and looks like he's grabbing his face and oh my, yeah, so Lou is actually from the moon, and he wants the greens to attack Earth so the moon people could conquer both of them. Story number two, the man who couldn't move. So we start off with this caption telling me I'm a no good down and out bum. That's messed up, man. That's messed up. This lady in this yellow car waves out to this brown coat, brown hat guy named Willie, telling him to come over to her, and she offers him a job as a chauffeur, and he quickly accepts the offer. They drive down to her nice apartment and she introduces her paralyzed husband, and this is where things take a dark turn. She hired Willie to murder her husband. She wants to inherit his $10 million by having her husband die in a car accident, and Willie goes along with it since he thinks he's gonna get some of that money. But he decides to take his time with the murder and make sure the lady agrees to marry him. All the while the husband is just sitting in the dark looking like this. When the time comes, Willie takes the husband out for a car ride. The whole time he's staring at Willie in the rearview mirror. He sets up the car in front of a cliff and releases the brake, but his sleeve gets caught and bro goes straight down with the car and lands like this. Next thing he knows, he wakes up back in the lady's house, unable to move, and he hears her talking to her new chauffeur. Story number three, poor Mr. Watkins. There's this fat, sloppy guy named Harry Higgins. He's trying to bag this librarian chick, but she doesn't want him and tells him he's a bore and a bore. You get it? So he leaves and he kicks this cat's bowl of milk, doing all this laughing and stuff. And then he gets stopped by this old lady asking him where Elm Street is. He tells her just to keep walking and she won't miss it. But the whole time, they're already on Elm Street. He goes back to the library to try again at bagging the librarian chick, but this time she isn't there, and instead of her is this old guy who looks like the Vulture. But Higgins sees potential in messing with this old guy and starts scaring him, talking about horror story things like killing and guts and werewolves and all that kind of stuff. And this gets Vulture all worked up and he starts yelling and hollering. So Higgins leaves and waits outside for Vulture to leave work. When he gets outside, he hits him with the classic sheet over his head ghosting, which makes him say E-E-E-E-K. When he's home, Higgins can't even sleep thinking about how much he can prank Vulture. So he grabs the phone book to find his address and pulls up acting like the cops. And for whatever reason, Vulture just lets the guy in his house and tells him he's scared about it being midnight and being alone, which I admit is kind of funny. But what isn't funny is the actual reason he's scared, because guess what? Vulture ain't a vulture. Story number five, they wait in their dungeon. There's this Alcatraz style prison named Jury's
I have so much jewelry.
Named Jury's Dungeon, and we have an inmate getting caught for smoking when he wasn't supposed to be. So the warden cracks bro in the back with a whip and picks up his cigarette to do a road at war on him. Then the warden hurries to the execution of a prisoner who makes a request to write a letter to his mother before he gets put down. But the warden refuses and power slaps him, and the prisoner gets thrown in a gas chamber. The warden watches him squirm and slowly die, enjoying every moment of it. Then when dinner time comes, he doesn't like the soup another prisoner made him, saying it tastes like dishwater, so he makes him drink a whole pot of it. But it seems that the prisoners have had enough and start ganging up on him. One of them grabs his whip and tears it apart. Then the warden starts running through the prison and trips down a flight of steps. With the inmates right behind him, he has no choice but to keep moving forward, and he comes across a metal door. But he can't go in there because that's the gas chamber and the gas is still in there. So now he has a choice between dying by gas chamber or dying at the hands of these inmates. Just like this final caption says, how do you like the first issue of Menace? Let me know in the comments. Bye.